1996. Wigan triumphed in 97. What about the 1998 vintage?
It was a night that the Bradford coach Matthew Elliott wanted his men to perform like the champions they are. Injuries have crippled the Bradford Bulls this season, but at least Matthew Elliott had his captain Graham Bradley available for selection, Bradley having been cleared by the appeals panel of the disciplinary committee earlier in the day. But Wigan arrived on the back of 3 straight victories, and they were bang in form. Another big crowd was in here at Odsal, as was Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, who watched the match with Steve-O and me. Let's now check out the way the two sides lined up. Beginning with the Bradford Bulls. Spruce at fullback, Hodgson, Vicona, Bradley, Ikoku, Forshaw at standoff, Paul at scrum half. No Sean Edwards then. Up front, McDermott, Lowes, he was back, and Doniger, Dwyer and Nicol, McNamara the loose forward. And on the bench, Crowthers, Graham, Rihana and young Stuart Fielden, coach Matthew Elliott. The Warriors from Wigan, Radlinski at fullback, Robinson, Moore, Connolly and Bell, Paul and Cardis, Tony Smith still out injured, Cowie, McCormack, Mestrov, Betts, Gilmore and Andrew Farrell, the captain, at loose forward. And waiting their chance, Cassidy, O'Connor, Johnson and Baines, the coach, John Money.
Match referee Stuart Cummings then is just about ready, and everybody around the country waits and wonders now as Bradford get this game underway. Steve McNamara with the kick-off, underneath it Henry Paul, he tips the ball inside to Mestrov, Mestrov then helps it on, and that's the first tackle, and it was Gilmore who takes the first tackle of this match. Farrell with the run on the second tackle. 3 Bradford Bulls defenders close him down. Of course, Bradford lost this fixture last year, as they say, but in 1996 it was one of the nights of the year when they won here. That's Dennis Betts, 4th tackle of this set of 6 for Wigan, and Wigan still inside their own half, despite the fact that Cowie took the great run then. And 13 wins to Bradford against 10 for Wigan here at Odsal. So the champions holding sway in recent history. The big deep kick from Farrell bounces back over the head of Hodgson, and Henry Paul was closing in.
Beautiful kick there by the Wigan skipper Farrell. He split the 2 defenders and it was a good chase. I must say Bradford's opening 6 in the defensive stint was pretty solid. They kept Wigan well within their own half.
Lowe's dummy half, he gives it to McNamara, who in turn gives it to Bradley. Bradley is wrestled to the floor. Mark Bell was in there pretty quickly. Now this is Doniger. Strong defence from Wigan, Cowie and Mestrov. Robbie Paul. Oh, and he threw it into the face really of Nicol, who put the pass down.
Well, this has been one of their problems this season. You could see that Nicol was looking at the on-rushing tackler rather than keeping his eyes on the football. That was early in the tackle count. It has been a huge problem for the Bulls, as I mentioned.
Jason Robinson now in possession for Wigan. 2nd minute has come and gone, and Wigan on the charge here. Henry Paul disappears the tackle from Bernard Dwyer. Connolly was the dummy half. He gives it again to Gilmore. Gilmore is all wrapped up by Mike Forshaw, the number 14 for Bradford, playing at standoff. He began his career at Wigan. He will be looking for a big game here. That's a good ball to Betts, but there's a pass gone to ground, and it was the tall figure, I think, of Danny Moore who put it down.
Well, it was taken out. Vicona certainly knocked that ball backwards. That was okay, but both those passes looked a shade forward. Pretty lucky to get away with it, but good work there by Vicona. The impact dislodging the ball.
Now McDermott for the Bradford Bulls. Brian McDermott, the prop forward, 3 tries in his last 3. 1997 was a big year for him, and he wants to get back to that sort of form in 1998. Bradley takes the last tackle in that particular set of 6. Lowe spins it back to McNamara, who will put the kick in. It bounces off the Wigan player, Paul. And Wigan now have it back.
That'll be the 0 tackle, came from a mistake there, trying to keep the ball alive. Perhaps they would have been better suited to get a kick way downfield. And this is where the Bradford Bulls tackling has to be strong, especially in the middle with the forwards. Quite a few of the Warrington side were quite open, saying that the Bradford pack wasn't as strong as what they expected.
Neil Cowie tries to run over the top of the tackler Robbie Paul. Cowie, who missed out at Wembley but who's played every match since. Good tackle from McNamara, though down. Chris Radlinski felt that, so did Andy Farrell, he's still down. The kick then across field from Connolly. They let it bounce. Vicona must have called for it and he got it, but the chase arrived. Danny Moore.
Good work there.
Good
work there by the Australian centre Moore. There was a bobbling ball there. Vicona, you can see, he went right low around the ankles. Both sides just trying to test each other out. Nervous moments out there. So much expected from this Bulls outfit. They are the champions. They are defending it for their life.
Well, their coach Matthew Elliott in determined mood on the pitch side before this game, and if any of that has been transmitted to his team, I'm sure that they will acquit themselves well in this match. That's McNamara. He gives it some width to Forshaw.
Be interesting to see how Forshaw handles the standoff position. There was also talk before the game that perhaps Steve McNamara might go into that role at some time during the game.
The dab through was picked up by Radlinski.
So don't be surprised if you see a bit of a switch there. I do know that Steve McNamara in his younger days, this is the run and the kick through, but it was well spotted, the sweeper back there. I just mentioned that Steve McNamara in his younger days played quite often at standoff, so there's no slouch in that position, but it has been a long time since he's played there.
Good defence thus far from Bradford. This is McCormack, loses the ball, chance here for young Hodgson. Great run, but the defence comes across. Henry Paul was in quickly, so too Connolly rather, and there's a penalty to Bradford. The referee, though, offering the benefit of the doubt to the Wigan man, said the ball was played at him.
Well, McCormack was trying to come back onside, and that's the reason why the penalty is given. McCormack was the man that instigated all this. It was a bad mistake, trying to get the ball out wide and lost control of it. And Wednesday this is the incident, lost it there, and when he came back, Hodgson did well, knew that possession was vital, that's why he came in off the touchline. And then when the pass came, straight to him. Rightly so, given a penalty by the referee Stuart Cummings.
Well, nicknamed the Moth is Robbie McCormack. He was not attracted to the ball then, the ball was attracted to him. That's the angle that Steve McNamara has got with his first penalty of the match. 24 successful kicks from McNamara. 26 games now. The longest point scoring run in the Super League belongs to Steve McNamara. 26 successive games. This should make it 27. But he's not kicking well just now. One goal from 3 attempts against Warrington last week, and the first miss from Steve McNamara.
You're pretty good, Eddie, at putting the mocker on many people throughout Super League. As soon as it came out of your lips there, I thought this guy will miss, and he did. But I must agree with you, he's having trouble this season with the boot, Steve McNamara. Let's hope he finds form, because penalties could decide this game. Chances will be few and far between.
Andy Hodgson, the dummy half. The pass was almost short for Dwyer, but Bernard Dwyer turned it into a good effort. Gets to the halfway line. Lowe's at dummy half. McNamara out wide, it goes to Paul. Bit of space out wide here. Nickel, though, quickly closed down by Danny Moore. Right on the halfway line. Vicona it is now.
Again, another big tackle by the Aussie. Danny Moore, he's working overtime in defence. And again, he's there. So we're not going to be fooled by that short pass by Paul.
Now then, up the middle goes Doniger on the last tackle, puts the kick in. Radlinski traps it with the boot, controls it, then flicks it into the arms of Mark Bell. And Mark Bell has put a big sway through the defence. Hodgson's after him, Hodgson's missed him. Bell might go all the way, over the top it goes, and it went behind Radlinski. That was a huge opportunity, and it was wasted by Wigan.
Well, he really should have kept possession there. He panicked right at the last moment. It looked as though they were getting to him. Hodgson did it very well to force him, but why on earth he applied the pressure on the inside? Remember, that was a zero tackle. It was a kick through from Donna that was going nowhere. Radlinski picked it up with ease. The switch of play left a huge gap, and Mark Bell has blown a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, the first chance in this match. Steve-O saying the chances will be few and far between. That was a golden opportunity for Wigan. McNamara with the kick in general play, finds touch, and this will give Bradford a little moment or two to recover from that surprise.
Well, this is the incident. It was a nothing kick, and you could see they were slow to fill in. Good work by Bell here. He's doing everything right. Hodgson, to be fair, put him under pressure, and this is where he really should have kept hold of the football. There was always going to be an overlap. Quick play the ball, and the Bulls were well and truly stretched.
Henry Paul tackled by Mike Forshaw, who is playing at standoff tonight. Normally a loose forward. Offside now against Bradford. Moving up far too quickly to play the ball. And then something said to the referee, who marches them back 10 metres.
Well, I know I've kept mentioning it over the past couple of weeks, but it really is creeping into our game yet again. And I just cannot believe that these professional players are not listening to the coach. And surely the coaches are getting the message, Eddie, that these referees are saying, if you talk back to me, I'm in charge, I'm going to march at 10.
Tony Mestrov is having to take a spell in the blood bin. John Money, his coach, watching in the sunshine over on the far side. Mestrov being patched up on the field. The referee wants him off, and in the blood bin he's shown him the white cross on the green background once. He shows it twice, and so it means that Terry O'Connor will come on for Mestrov while he's patched up. Interesting note about Tony Mestrov, by the way. He is of Croatian extraction, therefore the first Croat to play at Wembley in the Challenge Cup final.
I think he's probably the first to play at Oxford, isn't he?
Probably is.
Or anywhere.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
You amaze me with your in-depth knowledge. Croatia, eh?
Well, I know you're a big fan of the country. This is Dennis Betts now.
Yes, I'm afraid it was Yugoslavia when I was a young boy.
Touch judge has seen something. He comes on. James Lowes, Graham Bradley involved there.
Well, you can see there James Lowes trying to give him a little bit of a facial right in front of the Matty flag waver. And as much as we may say that sometimes they miss things, it was quite obvious that the hooker tried to open a new business in rearranging someone's nose.
This is O'Connor with the drive on the first tackle from the penalty. Wigan electing not to kick for goal. McCormack to Paul, who hands it on to Cowie, and Cowie is grappled to the floor by 3 just in front of the Bradford posts. McCormack then switches the direction of this attack, and that is the pass from Paul, and a great screen from the terraces of forward.
And it looked it as well.
Wigan still in control, and this is Connolly who's ghosted through, and Connolly stretches out, and Connolly scores. They get the first try, Wigan, but the Bradford supporters not too impressed with the forward pass that they believe was involved in the build-up to that try.
Well, we call the forward pass, and I think it was half a metre forward, perhaps. Betts on there. It's pretty difficult on a short, tight angle like that. But once they got the ball out wide, this was superb play, wasn't it? See how Radlinski just held it up. Dummy runner came round on the arc, left a huge gap there. Nothing that Spruce could do. This is the high shot. Perhaps we'll see it a little bit better. Well, it looks maybe on the line. So the high shot once again proves its worth. But this is absolutely superb rugby league football. You'll see Cardis send out the ball out wide. Now watch Radlinski. Cardis goes round him. The sliding defence continues. Sucked through there. There was nothing that Paul could do about it. That is a set pattern move. And well finished off by Connolly. It had to be finished off.
Yes, and he scored a try in this corresponding fixture last year, Gary Connolly. And what's more, this is his 345th career appearance tonight. Matthew Elliott, the Bradford Bulls coach, has watched his team concede the first points to the Wigan Warriors. Now Andy Farrell with the conversion attempt, been in form with the boot. Oh, what a kick from Farrell. Terrific kick from Andy Farrell, and Wigan are ahead by 6 points to 0.
They call it the sliding defence. There's 3 there. They did just that. They slid away, failed to fill in. Beautiful pass there from the full back, and Connolly, the big centre, scores the first try. Outstanding play from Wigan.
Wigan restart then, and the sun over in that corner will be a problem, but Stuart Spruce made it look not so. He gets to the first tackle 12 metres away from the line, and Ikoku takes it a further 12 metres upfield. This now is Vicona, and the Odsal crowd buzz every time Tavita Vicona get hold of it. Forshaw. Loose pass, but picked up by McNamara, tries to hand off Andy Farrell. Now Bradley. Connolly with a good tackle on him. Hodgson dummy half. McNamara with the kick again down the touchline. Andy Farrell lets it pass his body and find the touch.
The Bulls obviously playing percentage game, trying to slowly but surely get into this match. A little bit nervous there. Steve McNamara yet again opting for the safe value, just into touch. They've yet to apply an attacking kick against the Wigan defence.
Lovely little run from Henry Paul. He drifted away from Stuart Spruce, who got back to him fortunately. Almost put down there, that pass.
Farrell trying to squeeze out to weakness on the blind side. Just juggled it, picked it up in time.
To Connor, playing the ball to McCormack. Everyone rushing forward. Gilmore flicks it into the arms of Daryl Cardis. Cardis, just 19 years of age, Academy International. Betts trapped by Ikoku.
Come on! Be interesting to see what Wigan do, whether they go for length downfield or whether they go high.
Madlinski goes for length and gets too much length on it. Spruce is able to watch that and police it dead in goal. They come back for a tap on the 20-metre line.
Good work
Bradford's
there by
possession.
Good work by the Bradford defence. They really applied the pressure. The first pass was going to the loose forward Andrew Farrell, and he had to offload to Redlinski, and that's why the kick wasn't all that good. Applying the pressure very well.
Probably saw there the referee Stuart Cummings having a quiet word with Robbie Paul. Now Wigan caught offside. To the strains of Hallelujah over the tannoy system at Odsal.
He threw in a little bit of music there just to impress upon the referee, but you can see there are at least 5 in front of the official. Perhaps quite a few people who are new to our game wonder why they take such a long time. Well, the referee was wanting to see if there was any advantage gained to Bradford. There wasn't, and that's why he stopped play, gave the penalty in the end.
And this now is why Bradford are in the 10-metre area of Wigan with Forshaw. Tackles completed, number 2, Lowe's dummy halves, quickly into the arms of Paul. He misses out, Nickel finds McNamara. This is Vicona. That was a great tackle on Vicona from Danny Moore. He was on his way to the try line then, was the winger. This now is McNamara again, surrounded by 4 and hauled to the ground. Bradford though within 5 metres of the line, and Spruce trying to pinch one, spins away from one tackler. Robbie Paul wanted it given some width. Lowe's now flicks it back, and it keeps going to Dwyer. This is Paul, slides the kick through. Well claimed by Mark Bell. Bradford appealing for a knock-on.
Beautiful play by Bell. That was just outstanding.
He was facing his own line, wasn't he?
That was Peter Schmeichel, and that's a flop there. McDermott giving away a silly penalty. But what tremendous play by Mark Bell. It was a beautifully kick there from Paul. It went backwards, he dragged it in. A lot of the fans here perhaps thought that when Bell dragged the ball into his chest, he'd lost control. He hadn't, you could see that on the replay. But what a great build-up, and spoiled there by the big prop forward Brian McDermott, who came and flopped and released the pressure. But it was a superb kick through there by Robbie Paul.
Bradford have got it back.
Well spotted by the hooker there. He put himself about. He knew that Cardiff was going to offload.
So big opportunity here for Bradford then with Dwyer, and he drives it in. Radlinski standing firm in the tackle. Robbie Paul, dummy half. He attacks down the short side, flicks the pass out to Vicona. And Vicona with all the strength. So close, Vicona, just held up by Robinson. Just half an inch or two short of the line. Forshaw again, but he's enveloped by 3. Lowe's dummy half, wants to get on with it quickly. McDermott with a strong run, and he's hauled back again by this Wigan defence. Well, it's the best defence in Super League, and they're showing you why. Lowe's with the kick into the in-goal area, and Robinson allows it to run dead.
Took a huge gamble there, did Robinson. McNamara was surging towards him. Talk about being cool. Great build-up yet again by Bradford. What a tremendous run by the second rower, Bernard Dwyer. He's having a great season for the Bulls. He put them in that wonderful position, but you've got to take your hat off to this scrambling defence by Wigan. Only 14 tries conceded this season. It's been a great effort.
This is Cardiff, and he finds Farrell, who just drifts a kick over the top, aiming it towards the corner flag, and it just went in touch the right side of that corner flag. Great inch-perfect kick, precision stuff from Farrell.
Was it ever? Yet again, he's turned the players around. And that's a big advantage about when your kicking game is on, is that you're not kicking down the throat of the defence. Such a marvellous athlete. Great Britain skipper Andrew Farrell. He's in fine form.
Right, that's one, clear.
Forshaw with the tackle, or tackled rather by Henry Paul.
And you can see there that Forshaw picked the ball up from the loose forward position.
Oh,
well, that's stupidity.
Well, Neil Cowie.
I think he got one in first, did Cowie, but why on earth did James Lowe's come in?
Hold, fellas.
I think you'll find that Cowie's head was moving around in the general direction. Yep, that was it. And not surprising Lowe's came through, but he shouldn't have done that. Jeremy Doniger was quite happy to take the penalty. The official had seen it.
He was actually complaining earlier about a bit of a high shot as well. But then James Lowe's comes in and takes the ball into his own hands.
Well, it'll be a penalty to Bradford, that there's no doubt. And he must bring out Cowie.
Let me sort it out. Right, Neil, come here. I've got it. Andy, just leave it with me, will you? Right, Neil. According to the report, you started by going in with the head. All right, there's no malicious in it, so why you bothered, I don't know. Right, well, let's keep the head out. Away you go. The penalty's going against you. Jim. Graham, let me do my job, please.
Referee is having the devil's own
job. Goes on, let me sort it out.
To keep control of this.
Yeah, okay.
He's got both captains, Andy Farrell and Graham Bradley,
here we go,
chirping in his ear. Bradford have got the penalty for the use of the head.
Well, just lost the plot there slightly, James Lowe's. It's a big boost to the Bulls, missing last week. And the previous 2 weeks to that, he came back, I feel, a little bit too early. He was obviously not 100% fit. Let's hope he is there today, because they certainly need him, especially those runs from dummy half, which have been missing from the attacking play by Bradford.
And the referee has to call time off again to keep these players apart. This is boiling.
Back off.
He's got a problem here, Stuart Cummins. He's got to sort this out. I think he'll have a word, obviously, with Terry O'Connor, but he would be wise to talk to both captains here, Steve-O.
Andy!
Oh, I think we'll do that. Stuart Cummins has been around long enough. He's a supreme professional.
Right, we've had quite a few verbals going in the game, some from yourself, okay? I'm not going to stand for what Terry's saying there. He's shouting at players, he's just inciting the situation. All right, so let's calm it down. The penalty's going against that for verbals, okay? Can I have a word as well? Listen, I'll sort this out. Brian.
We'll take a bow, Stuart Cummins, because verbals, as we all know, do go on in any sport. And ours is no different. I think it's wonderful to see a referee has got enough power and the conviction to say, I'm not having anybody trying to incite a riot. That does our game no good whatsoever. Well done, Mr. Cummings.
So opportunities then for Bradford from that penalty. They're, 17, 18 metres away from the Wigan line. Here goes McDermott. Oh, what a bang then from Cowie, but he's still got the ball away to Lowe's just the same.
It'll be hot for the next 10, that's for sure.
Forshaw to Doniger. No hiding place at Odsal. These two sides know just how vital victory is to both of them. Dwyer on the run.
Set pattern again there with James Lowe's. He goes one way, pops up the football.
Robbie Paul, he'll try and give it some width now, will he? No, he'll go on his own up the middle again. Hodgson was limping just before that. He is replaced by Crowthers. That's Lowe's. This is Brian McDermott. And McDermott gets them to within 3 metres of the line on the last tackle. Lowe's from dummy half, dabs it in, far too strong. And again, it's on again. Cowie and Lowe's. There's no love lost there. Oh no, it's Dennis Betts this time.
Betts with a bit of a grin. Far too strong by the hooker. The option was good. He knew it was the last one. And he collided with Betts as he went through there.
Pull back.
It's pretty difficult for the officials to keep control here.
Farrell almost through, just ankle tap by Forshaw. That's Henry Paul. Well watched though, the pass out wide. Nickel was all round Gilmore. 6-0 it is here at Odsal. You might notice in the top left-hand corner the clock is absent without leave at the moment. We're working hard to try and bring it back to you. There's about 24 minutes of this match gone though, I can tell you, and Wigan ahead by 6 points to 0.
Well, we may have lost the clock, but there's plenty of ticker being shown out there, that I can tell you. It's rough and it's tough.
High kick from Farrell, that's almost got snow on it. Well claimed by Stuart Spruce for the penalty against Wigan. They strayed inside the 10 metres. Danny Moore picked out by the referee.
Stuart Cummings was screaming at the player, and that player was the big centre. And Danny Moore got there just a little bit too soon. If you're in front of the kicker, you must allow him 10 metres once he's caught that football. You cannot encroach that.
Another blood bin here. And Terry O'Connor needs patching up, so he came on as a blood bin replacement for Tony Mestrov, and now O'Connor goes off into the blood bin himself, and Mestrov will return to reverse the blood bin.
How tough is that? Terry O'Connor, this is what blood? Soaked right the way through onto his collar. He didn't know it was there.
Terry O'Connor, of course, gained infamy, didn't he, when he said during the World Club Championship last year that his wife hit him harder than Gordon Tallis of the Brisbane Broncos.
And I also said I wouldn't like to meet his wife. No offence.
Bradley through the gap, and he flicks the pass to Spruce. And this scrambling defence though from Wigan, Bell and Radlinski. This is Robbie Paul now. And now Bernard Dwyer taking on Cowie.
Super pass from Bradley there to the man of the moment, Stuart Spruce. He's having a wonderful season.
Paul, we've got men out wide. One of them's Vicona, who gets the try. Bradford reply with Vicona's try. And that's try number 8 of this highly productive first Super League season for the big Tongan winger.
Vicona may have scored him, but put it down to the wonderful work from Bradley and Spruce. Got him to this position. Beautiful dummy there from Paul. Throw the dummy back on the inside. They hesitated. Vicona came in, coming on the angle. This is outstanding football. Tremendous stuff there. You can see that Robinson had been sucked in. This is a run from Spruce. The combination between Bradley and the fullback was outstanding. Paul again, who was running hot. The man who's always there to keep things going. And from the play, the ball, inside dummy. Just outstanding football there. Paul just stood them up as though they were dummies.
Well, Tavita Vicona now the joint leading scorer in Super League with 8. And he joins Keith Senior of the Sheffield Eagles, the cup winners, on that mark. Now McNamara with this important conversion attempt. That's better. drifts it over the top of the crossbar, and the scores at Odsal are level, much to the delight of the majority of the supporters here. 6-all.
Inside runner, you can see the man then get sucked into Paul. Open space out wide. Vicona, instead of running the angle towards the corner, he immediately came back on a different angle towards the sticks. Outstanding try. Number 8 for the big fella.
40 tries in 1997. He was in Henry Paul's 1993 Junior Kiwi squad. Good tackling from McNamara there on Lee Gilmore. Here's Neil Cowie. No place for the faint-hearted Odsal tonight. Penalty stolen from Neil Cowie.
Interference there. Forshaw just drags the arm away and again gives away vital metres to the Wigan Warriors.
Yes.
With full credit though to the Bulls for bouncing back from that. They've settled down into playing football rather than keeping it tough.
We've got about 12.5 minutes of this match remaining in the first half, and it's 6-all here at Odsal in this glorious evening sunshine. That's Danny Moore, this is Mark Bell, he cuts inside Stuart Spruce, and Wigan come back and hit Bradford with a real response to that try from Vicona. John Money watching on will be delighted with that. Mark Bell with the try. They gained space out wide and Bell exploited it.
One of the best exponents of getting on the blind side. Neat little work there by Cowie and Paul. And Moore sends in the winger Bell. Great centre play there, but you can see how they exploit this on the blind side. You can see Betts come through, used as a dummy runner. He took 2 defenders with him. It confused them completely.
And Mark Bell's try hits Bradford within 2 minutes of them clawing level. Two tries against Salford last week for Mark Bell. One here tonight now. Important time to score as well for Bradford with about 9 or 10 minutes to the half-time break. Here's Farrell now with this conversion attempt. Farrell drifts it between the timbers. Bradford 6, Wigan 12 here at Odsal.
See there the dummy runner, you'll see him circled. Moore comes on the outside. Look how he takes the 2 defenders. Beautiful pass out wide. Nice swerve. Nothing the fullback could do about that.
Wigan have made a change, by the way. Lee Gilmore has been withdrawn and Mick Cassidy has come on. Now, can Bradford reply up to half-time? Nickel. Cassidy with his first tackle of this match. Dwyer. Another good, strong run from Dwyer.
Oh, he did well to keep hold of that. He was trying to offload in heavy traffic. Always a dodgy issue. Oh, great defence from Connolly.
Bradley got the ball away to Doniger, who in turn gets it away to Crowthers. Back to Lowe's. Good stuff from the Bulls. McNamara comes back this way, runs straight into Andy Farrell. That's the last tackle. Lowe's at dummy half. Paul with the kick over the top. Radlinski's after this. Radlinski collects.
Well, we spoke about the poor kick and chase game, and that was a bad kick, far too deep. And Radlinski took it with ease.
7 minutes to half time. Wigan ahead, 12 points to 6 here at Odsal.
It's a vital time now for the Bulls. They've got to try to keep Wigan well and truly camped down in their own quarter. Remember, we've seen some fine long kicks downfield from Andy Farrell. And on every occasion, he's split the players, split the fullback and the winger.
Mesnov takes it up again.
Arm. Well, that's silly play. Right in front of the referee. Jeremy Doniger just goes in for a second wallop. For what? To give away a penalty. Well, a lack of concentration. Wouldn't mind if they contact.
So Wigan can make more cheat meters. And here comes Cowie with the first run of this set of 6. Gets the pass away to McCormack as well. Bell just slipped then. McCormack dummy half. Now it's Robinson. Robinson just delayed the pass, held on to it. Didn't want to give it to Farrell. Runs flat across the face of the defence. Forshaw comes out to meet him. Mestrov. Three tackles gone. Cassidy. McCormack. Henry Paul delayed the pass. Flicks it back to Cowie. Cowie gets over for another. Neil Cowie gets the try for Wigan. And that's the 3rd try for the Welsh international and the Great Britain man, Neil Cowie.
And the try scorer for Wigan, number 8.
Well, he's having a wow of a game, isn't he? And Neil Cowie.
And Matthew Elliott's got problems.
He sure has. They stood still. The crowd were appealing for a forward pass, but the run around with McCormack, you could see that Paul threw the dummy back on the inside, nowhere near a forward at all. It was perfect. It was just that the defence stood still. Little dummy, shimmy back on the inside, and I'm afraid you can see they'd all gone forward. The rest just stood still. Cowie said, I'm taking 4. High shot, little run around. McCormack, Paul, as he comes through, the last part there, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Bradford were caught, they stood still. The players aren't the referee, and unless the whistle blows, this guy will walk over every time.
Yes, he's bounced back from missing out on Wembley. He was only on the bench that day, and he has bounced back with gusto. As Neil Cowie, Matthew Elliott makes his way through the crowd here to join that man, Brian Noble, on the sideline. And he will watch as Andy Farrell lines up this conversion attempt. Never a problem for Andy Farrell. And suddenly, Wigan, in the last 5 minutes, have got this game by the scruff of the neck.
Beautiful running by Cowie. He's a man centred there and circled. Watch him go through. They use him as a dummy runner, but he just walks forward, waits for the inside pass, and gleefully accepts the try.
So not long to half-time. About 5 minutes, that's all. And just after Bradford got themselves back into this match, Wigan have hit them with 2 quick tries.
Well, I'm sure that their coach Matthew Elliott will have quite a lot to say to them, because they had Wigan penned down in their own quarter. They gave away 2 silly penalties, which allowed Wigan to get back into the Bulls' quarter, and they've come up with 2 tries. It can be so simple.
The ball was taken out of his grasp. It was 1-on-1.
Sure was. Farrell deliberately went for the football. As you say, oh, bit of a headbutt there yet again. Betts was involved. James Lowe's not too impressed, and rightly so. It appeared that Betts certainly lunged forward.
That was a brilliant ball from Cowie to McCormack, who in turn has found Robinson. Flicked out by Cowie as he went to ground on the tackle. This is Cassidy.
It's got to be a Shepherd. Cassidy using the dummy runner to full effect there and not getting away with it. But the dummy runner made contact as Cassidy went round on the loop. Again, we see that Wigan are exploiting this blind side. Danny Moore came into the channel, well spotted by the official.
Penalty count 6-all. 4.5 minutes of this first half remaining.
Well, if ever the Bulls had a set move up their sleeves, this is really the time to do it.
Stuart Fielden there is on, the young academy player who is making his Super League bow tonight. This is McNamara, and it's 18-6 to Wigan, with just 4 minutes now to the half-time interval. Forshaw with the run. Back it goes to Lowe's. What would Bradford give for a try now, right on the stroke of half-time? But that's the last tackle.
Surely they'll utilise the bomb.
They'll have to come up with something special. It's Paul, hoists the kick out wide, looking for Ikoku. Ikoku palms it back. Doniger can't pick it up. Vicona can't pick it up. Danny Moore has it for the Wigan Warriors.
Did well, did Ikoku, to get the ball back on the inside, but Doniger definitely knocked on. Was on the last, so that's why the handover was implemented. Well, Wigan will be quite happy, I'm sure, having that commanding lead to go in at half-time. They will play safety first here, run down the clock. But they are so powerful, Wigan. This is where they strike. And in every game, they go for something different in the dying seconds of both the first and second halves.
And the kick is perfect again, and Spruce from his own line has to run it back, but look at the chase. Terrific chase from Moore and from Betts.
Been a feature, I think, of this first half, the wonderful kicking ability of the skipper, Andrew Farrell. And as Eddie mentioned, the quick chase. That's saying he was held down either way.
Right, because that's what it was. Come on, keep it out.
Whether he was or he wasn't, he certainly took his time to get away from it.
Whoa, Robbie,
Well spotted yet again by Stuart Cummings.
Little use of the forearm as well. Spotted by the referee, Stuart Cummings.
Well, he's certainly going to earn his money. He's the better whistleblower tonight. He's already penalised Wigan for verballing.
Move.
It's very rare you see that, but it's quite warm out there, Eddie.
Certainly is.
Right, that's two. And again, Andy.
2 minutes away from half-time then. And Bradford desperately searching for a try. That's McDermott.
Come on, fellas.
Lowe's. McNamara. The runner was Bradley.
Clear!
The ball was stolen, was messed around with by Farrell, who protests and pleads his innocence.
Silly play there by Farrell. If he got an hand in there with just... You can see that he drags the arm across.
1.5 minutes.
Rather loses it.
Be careful.
Well, will they go for the corner? Surely. Well, they're talking about whether they're thinking of going for the 2 points. They need more than 2 points to go in at half-time, and that is woeful. Well, that is not a great kick.
Drop kick.
Well, that's an awful error from Stuart Spruce.
It's a drop kick. It's a drop kick.
They might now have wished that they'd gone for the 2 points.
Well, I can't believe that the full-back actually had the ball in his hands. Normally the kicking game is down to Steve McNamara. Well, quite a bit of a let-off there. He won't be happy, and you can see he's not happy, Matthew Elliott.
Well, instead of pressing on the Wigan line, Stuart Spruce now is running the ball inside his own half. Lowe's dummy half. Forshaw. Great defence from Wigan. They're showing tonight why they have got the best defence in the Super League this year.
Paul nearly lost his cool then, Paul.
This is Lowe's. Now Doniger. Can they snatch one right at the death? Doniger over the top to Ikoku.
That was forward anyway. The basketball pass was forward. Well, it isn't often that you see a prop forward running out in the centres. It wasn't the best to Ikoku either.
Well, that's the half-time siren and half-time whistle. And, well, in the 27th minute, Bradford Bulls thought they were right back in the hunt here. They had Wigan at 6-all after Connolly had given Wigan the early try. But Matthew Elliott then has had to endure 2 tries in 5 minutes from Wigan. Bell and Cowie with the tries in the 29th and 34th minute, both of them converted by Andrew Farrell. And Wigan lead the champions at half-time by 18 points to 6.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
There is a green field where today's adversaries face ancient vendettas.
Would you believe it?
And on this day, each must choose their colour.
Complete carnage out there.
One day Sunday League cricket, Leicester v Kent, Sunday at 2, Sky Sports 3.
Nicole.
Nicole! Yes!
I've got just one word to say to the taxman, who gives B2 customers the chance to have all their returns completely free of tax. Cheers.
Change the way you save. For the Advanced Savings Account Pack, call 0800 626262.
Want a mint? Try Wrigley's Extra Sugar-Free Gum.
If you like mints, you'll love them. And chewing's great for your teeth.
Wrigley's Extra, all the great taste of a mint.
My brother's a hero. A champion. Everybody loves him. He's the reason I own a bar. Every year we have a mad race. When he reaches the buoy, I start the clock. Marco against the pint. They expect. But I'm getting older, he says. One day I'll lose, he says. Don't worry, I say. You'll never lose. It takes 119.5 seconds to pour the perfect pint. Guinness. Good things come to those who wait.
Now over to the boys in France.
Hello.
What about the turning point in the match? Was it really a throw-in? Let's take a look. Slow motion doesn't really show as much, but what about the virtual picture? The linesman's view, that wasn't a fantastic one. The refs, it was even worse. This is Glenn's view from the dugout. And the president of FIFA's great view. The airship, it was a fantastic shot from there. Did my mate in seat 47C, did he...
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
I'll prove it yet, don't go away.
Hungry? Why wait?
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
Grim reading for the champions. They are trailing by 18 points to 6. 3 tries to 1, and Farrell has been so far faultless with the boot. That is the Bradford Bulls dressing room, and Matthew Elliott has some sorting out to do during the half-time interval. And just down the corridor in the Wigan dressing room, well, they will be buoyant because they saw that Bradford came back and got them to 6-all, and then 2 tries in 5 minutes really turned the screw and put Wigan very much in the ascendancy here. Now, all the way through the Super League season, clubs are going to be hit by injury problems. There's no doubt about that, but I think Sean McRae, who is watching here, you know all about injuries at St Helens, of course, but in Super League 3, there are very few clubs at the moment who are suffering worse than Bradford.
It's a difficult roller coaster ride for Matty Elliott, and part of his problem is that they don't have an A team. They haven't got an alliance team to back up from. So we can see some younger kids tonight on the bench coming from the academy side. That's difficult when you've got to start to bring them through, particularly for games like this. I'm not questioning their talent or their potential, but when you have to throw a lot of your academy kids into a game against Wigan, you know you're in some trouble with injuries. But it is testing their depth, but they're handling it reasonably well tonight. They just made a couple of errors when Wigan have lifted the tempo, which they have a habit of doing. Sides have to be able to go with them, and Bradford weren't able to go with them tonight in that first 40 minutes anyway.
No, and Wigan, let's be fair, they're a pretty classy outfit at the moment, and they're bang on form.
The thing that's impressed me as much as anything with Wigan is their speed of line defence, what we call in the coaching terms, and the way that they get up. They make the tackle, but they all get back and get set, and they're really working the Bradford players over. Bradford are getting a few more offloads than I would have expected against Wigan, but I don't think they've quite made enough use of it, and I think their kicking game needs to improve a bit. I think Matty Elliott will be working more on the quicker play of the balls, perhaps utilising the ball a little bit wider. When we saw Vicona's try, it was excellent work from Robbie Paul, and I think also the kicking game needs to improve. We've already seen Andy Farrell kick, I think twice, on the third or fourth tackle, something that we don't see a lot of sides do, and it's put Bradford under a lot of pressure. I'm sure we're going to see more of that this half.
Well, Wigan have got, as we said during the course of the commentary, the best attack and the best defence, and Steve-O, we have seen tonight both facets of their play. They have been excellent on attack and defence.
Without doubt. I mean, Sean has mentioned already that the kicking game from Bradford wasn't all that good, and the first chance came to Wigan because, yet again, Bradford kicked the ball directly at the man, and it was the fullback Radlinski that picked up the football, and from that situation they just run the ball away. Sensational stuff. Back on the inside, and there you see Connolly back on the inside there. It was a wonderful work by Radlinski. And it was the penalties that they'd given away that was a huge problem. Now this one, ball out wide, and you'll see it from the aerial shot. Just hold it there. And you'll see that the Cardis goes around on the outside, and watch how Connolly cuts straight through. We speak about the sliding defence, and you can see 3 did that, slid across. The fourth man was slow, and Connolly, and it took some scoring. Tremendous stuff, but full credit though to Bradford. There was a period up to this point where it was getting very nasty indeed. Robbie Paul's beautiful dummy back on the inside. Vicona, that was a well-taken chance. And we knew then that we were going to have a game on our hands. But then there was a period of play, and this has been one good thing about the work from Wigan. The run-arounds, the dummy runners, you could see there that Betts, the dummy runner, took 2 players out. Bradley was sucked in straight away, and Bell in for the try. And what a time to come up with a crucial try again. You see the run around, and you can see Bradford are hanging back. The little dummy, Cowie, who had gone on the dummy running yet again. This unselfish running by Wigan is so important. A lot of people think that it perhaps is just wasted effort, but it's not, because Cowie went through the gap 15 metres back on the inside. He didn't just stop, he just walked forward, and when ball came back from Paul, try was there. It's simple, basic football, but Wigan are doing it very well.
Well, the big question, of course, at this stage is there any way back for Bradford, is there?
Well, I think there is. I think that they've got to probably score the first points. They don't have to panic. It's not catch-up time. I think, again, it's generally considered in the game that 12 points is not an insurmountable lead. When you've got to score more than 3 tries perhaps, or 3 tries to get back into the game, then you're in some trouble. So if we can come out and score first, I think Bradford are going to be looking at a little bit tough to get back into this game. But I think if they come out and control the ball a little better, maybe they've got to try a few offloads. I think they're the best club in the business in terms of offloading the football. A lot of their tries are scored from that. And I think that they can get back in the game, but you've got to give credit to Wigan's defence. If that holds up, they'll put enough pressure on to force errors.
So a long way for this match to run then, just 2 converted tries, and Bradford, of course, will be right back in the hunt. We think then it's important that the Bradford Bulls, the champions, score first in this second half. Can they fight their way back against this Wigan team? Stay with us and find out. We have the whole of the second half coming along in a couple of moments.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
She started being my partner. I've been beat up, blown up, shot, kicked out a window. All my worldly possessions burned to a crisp.
Steven Seagal keeps to his word.
I'm sure you realize what I'm capable of doing to you.
In Vietnam, he was the Glimmer Man. First nothing, then a glimmer, then destruction.
Now in the urban jungle, he only seeks peace.
Cleanses his soul. You could use a little bit of that. If I need a cleansing, I have a bran muffin.
But turmoil still haunts him.
This work is so unique that any prisoner, psychiatrist, or priest would definitely not forget it.
It's no tearjerker.
Not that I cry at movies, anything like that.
It's a jerk terror.
That's all I'm using his credit card like a goddamn Ginsu knife.
More birds than you can handle. More adrenaline than you can pump.
The elevator was broken.
More humor than you can swallow.
I only shot you in one foot. Hobbled to a hospital.
The Glimmer Man premieres Saturday at 10 on Sky Movies Screen 2.
Cheers! What was that? That was cold.
Gentlemen, let me explain. I'm a freelance scientist. It's technically known as a judder. When the chill filtered snaps in nets is served just above freezing, it kind of monkeys around with the body's periodontal atrium.
I think I've just had my first jugger.
Best of all, it's totally humane. Well, almost.
There's 53 Rosalie Avenue, Daventry, Hilltop, Hill Rise, Mill Green, Aberdeen, Dunroman, Home Sweet Home in Broadstairs, Smallstairs, Fletchers in Aberdare, Treetop, Seaview, Shaynoo, 22 Mews in Catford, Bungalows in Walthamstow.
Do you have a nice view? Lettsby Avenue, number 8, Harrogate, Patio Garden Gate, Thatch near Hatch End, Cul-de-sac and Crouch End, timber frame, window frame.
Dunroman again.
2 up,
2 down.
Anywhere, anytime, Simmons in suburbia, couldn't be suburbia. Front door, back door, black door, greenhouse, new house, happy home in High Street, my street.
Another Dunroman.
Whoever you are, whenever you want to buy a home, it pays to decide nationwide.
Whether you suffer from hay fever, prickly heat, dust, or pet allergies, new Benadryl Allergy Relief starts working in 15 minutes. No non-drowsy allergy tablet works faster than Benadryl.
Buy one deep pan pizza, get another free. Right now at your local Summerfield.
They'll never notice.
Chauffeuring the most kicking live band in the universe used to be such a punishing business. Bristol one night, Aberdeen the next. But now, with this Simonized colour bullet, the polish goes on the paintwork, not on my hand. Splendid. Rock and roll, eh? New Simonized colour bullet, the quick, clean colour polisher.
Fiat is now offering air conditioning for a cool £1 on selected Fiat Bravos, Fiat Bravas, Mareas and Marea weekends.
England. All eyes on the Cup. 28 years of waiting. Ford Golf USA starts next Thursday on Sky Sports 2.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
It's 6-18 to the Wigan Warriors at half-time. 3 tries to 1. The Warriors are ahead, and here are the statistics from the first half.
Well, you can see that the possession going the Bulls' way, but mainly due to the fact that they have been very laborious going through their sets of 6. The big problem, though, as you can see there, Wigan have had to do 128. They've really put them through to it. But the missed tackle counts from the Bulls, not all that good. But the most important factor is that the Warriors are leading by that score of 18 points to 6.
And what is more, the 3 tries that Wigan have scored in this match, and another telling statistic really for the rest of Super League, takes the try tally for 1998 to the half-century mark. They have scored 50 tries already in Super League 3, have the Wigan Warriors. Bradford then, vital for them to score first in this second half. By the way, that NFL Europe match is on Sunday. It's Sunday that you will be able to see it over on Sky Sports 2. NFL final, Frankfurt Galaxy taking on the Rhine Fire, 5:30 on Sky Sports 2 on Sunday. Now then, this is Radlinski for Wigan. Brushes away from the challenge of Dwyer. It was a good job that Forshaw got to him. Forshaw, Steve-O's putting himself around in the standoff role. He's not letting them down.
Well, the thing is, Eddie, for most of the first half, he actually went into the loose forward. He switched, as we did perhaps mention in the opening 5 minutes, that Steve McNamara would go into the standoff. They've been switching and changing. But yes, he has worked overtime, and they've had to. Mainly due to the fact that Wigan, as we mentioned at half-time, their ability not only to work the blind side and perhaps kid a very slow defence out on that side, but their running off the ball is quite unique.
Well, let's see what's been said in the dressing rooms at half-time. Pitch side is Bill.
As you can imagine, very different atmospheres in those dressing rooms. Bradford concerned about the discipline and maintaining it, and also maintaining possession, but their coaching team reckon that if they can tighten up in those departments, then they can still trouble this Wigan side, as they did in the first half when they drew level. A very, very relaxed John Money, the Wigan Warriors coach, really wants more of the same. The only thing he's worried about from his side is the penalty count. He wants them to tighten up in that respect. Just one more piece of news from the Bulls. Andy Hodgson, who limped off in the first half, should be okay to come back.
That's good news, because Hodgson returned after 10 months out at Warrington last week. There is the penalty count. Bradford have 8 to Wigan 6, and this is Bradford on the charge now. And the young Stuart Fielden is collared on the halfway line. This now is Bernard Dwyer, 10 metres inside the Wigan half of the field. He plays the ball to James Lowes, who finds Forshaw. This is Vicona. Great tackle on Vicona, though, from Danny Moore. Here's McNamara, who will hoist the crossfield kick. But after this, Bradley reached it, but not quite in time.
Took it well there, Mark Bell. You could see the big Australian Bradley was honing down on him. On that occasion, it was a good kick. Allowed the chaser on that was Bradley.
That's great strength, though, from Johnson. Mark Bell was the dummy half, taken by Fielden. Sean McRae mentioning that these youngsters having their opportunity in the Super League. Betts there was hunting the ball inside from Farrell that never came.
Big
Forshaw.
hit there by Forshaw it was, and it was right across the chest.
Last tackle here, and Farrell with the kick downfield, but that's going to be too long.
Just a little bit too much strength there, but yet again, Bradford are very slow to pick up on the fact that Farrell, in most of the kicks, have gone on the blind side, and they've allowed him plenty of latitude, which does surprise me. You've got to apply that pressure as quickly as you can.
Well, they won here by 20 points to 12 in 1996, but they have already lost 3 in 1998 of the Bradford Bulls. That's more than in the entire season of 1997 in Super League.
Good run there by McDermott. They've got to start going forward. Big hit there, Forshaw yet again. Betts went really into him. I don't know who came off best.
McNamara to Paul, looking for it wide with Bradley. On the run around is Robbie Paul. Connolly was hunting him all the way with Henry Paul.
Well, that's the type of football they need, the runarounds that we saw from Wigan in the first half.
Crossfield kick again. The ball has come loose. It was fly-hacked by Spruce, but bravery from Radlinski.
Well, it came clear. Radlinski put his body on the line, and Spruce, I think, caught him in the face.
Offside against Bradford now. And back chatting about the decision. They marched 10 metres further back towards their own posts.
Well, you could see that they got off the mark far too early in front of the official.
Brian McDermott, the man who said something out of turn.
Well, it's an amazing situation these people can't understand.
Right, I'll have my words now. Talked, they're not listening. They're talking back at me, I don't mind that, but I'm not being told what to do by any of your players. So sort it out. The whistle's finished.
Okay, so
I'll take further action.
From anyone, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Stuart Cummings is doing his best, isn't he, to lay the law down?
Well, they get paid quite a lot of money, these guys. They train and they work hard, and
this is the players, of course.
Yes, and the big hits that's out there, they deserve every penny. But stupid things like that, when they talk to the referee, he's the boss. That's it. End of story. He's in charge. Keep your mouth shut. Only the two captains can speak to him.
McCormack, lovely skipping little run. Eventually he gets to his feet. Cassidy dummy half, Robinson, Henry Paul. Betts takes it on the run. Looked out wide and Connolly was there.
Great tackle from Bradley. Connolly was nearly through then.
Robinson flicks it to Moore. McDermott and young Fielden wrap him up. And Moore didn't like it from McDermott, and they're having a real old set to as you watch this.
Well, they've peeled away after threatening each other. They had a good grip of each other, and I think the referee will bring them out, rightly so. Well, I do apologise for any referee that is watching this broadcast. I probably gave you a heart failure thinking that you were in for a huge pay rise.
The referee is told by his touch judge that both these players need a talking to. You see it happening there.
Well, he went for him, Danny Moore. After he played the ball, he took offence to it. He didn't like the fact that it was a pretty high shot, but it was across the chest.
Captain!
Well done, Mr. Cummings.
I don't care, I want a word. Captain!
Well, the referee's wanting now a word with the two captains. Graham Bradley of Bradford is way out on the far side.
Well, I must say that we say that these players are being paid a lot of money, and rightly so, but if they don't watch out, Mr. Cummings will make sure that they lose a bit of pay.
Right.
Because the next one will go.
It's a foul play situation. Right, I will take further action if any more occurs. It's up to you, okay? Sort your players out. Here we go, we're going over here on the 20. On the 20.
Well, from the very first whistle, Radlinski is being treated, by the way, on the field. But from the very first whistle of this match, Stuart Cummings has had a devil's own job in trying to sort this out and to keep control. And you get the feeling, with just 8 minutes of this second half gone, that you just need to light the blue fuse and stand back. Talking of that, light the blue fuse and stand well back for State of Origin 3 next Friday at 11 o'clock in the morning on Sky Sports 1. We have the whole match live for you from the Sydney Football Stadium. It's the decider with highlights later that night at 6:30, also on Sky Sports 1, directly before our broadcast from Headingley and Leeds against Halifax.
Is 12,500 kilometres far enough away from the...
Yes, 12,500 miles would be better, but...
Okay, Neil, you've gone high. Right, you've gone high.
A little less distance, of course.
Geography lessons as well. Well, it's getting very tasty, and I cannot see why these players are intent on running the risk. Cowie went high. Lowe's felt it. Well, I don't know why, if any of these guys want to go out and see the World Cup, but they're in with a big chance.
Lowe's will restart then, and here's Dwyer.
Right, one clear, get out of there, move.
It's rough and tough, isn't it, without all this, the Super League. McNamara to Robbie Paul. Out wide further, it goes to Crowthers.
Well, you talk about the toughness, but it's not just physique, it's also being mental tough. And the side that really uses their brains will come away with the vital 2 league points.
That's young Fielden. Both coaches, John Money and Matthew Elliott, watching here as the Bulls launch another attack through Vicona, who just slipped then at the vital moment. But this scrambling Wigan defence, they've done their homework about Vicona. They know how dangerous he is, and he proved it to them in the first half with the try. Ikoku with the stab through, and Johnson had to tap the ball dead because he could hear.
Well, there was plenty of shouting there, and Johnson did the right thing. He didn't know what was behind him. And the youngster Paul Johnson rightly kicked the ball dead. No good taking a chance and then ruining the fact that you've given away a vital try.
Once again, running repairs for Radlinski. Paul Johnson, by the way, has come on for Darryl Cardis, and Jason Robinson now is the man who is operating at standoff. At scrum half, rather, for Wigan. Forshaw now.
That was an enormous drop out there from Andrew Farrell. When the chase was on, you can see that Bradford have only just made it to the 30-metre line.
Lowe's to McDermott, picks up pace and tries to run through the figure of Henry Paul. Cowie was there as the heavyweight reinforcements. That was McNamara. This is Spruce who's joined the line. Again, though, this Wigan defence stands firm as a rock. The ball shoots out of the hand and finds Bradley. Not the best pass from Bradley. It bounces eventually to Paul. Now this is Forshaw, back to Vicona. Vicona to Paul again. He is Bradley. Bradley will straighten it up. Last tackle. Lowe's. Getting closer. McNamara flicks it into the arms of Betts. Well, it was on the last tackle. It was worth the gamble, I suppose.
Well, at least to set it up there, twisting in the tackle. McNamara tried desperately to get it through. But good work there from the Bulls, build up, but they've spoiled it all yet again.
Offside.
Well, it really has been a bad feature if you're a Bulls fan, in the fact that they get Wigan camped down in their own quarter, and either by a silly penalty or running offside, too eager, they allow Wigan to escape yet again.
O'Connor just on and does well, finds Bell. Good tackle by Fielden. Here's Radlinski. Cassidy was the runner. Halted by Dwyer and Lowe's. McCormack. Henry Paul. Betts. Penalty count is all square at 9-all. Robinson, Radlinski, Farrell. Out wide it goes, Connolly.
Good defence there, they weren't being sucked in.
Bell was the dummy half, the runner is O'Connor. And that's the last.
Kick for the corner, perhaps.
Well, it's with Farrell. Drop goal from Farrell. Just missed.
Not a bad option. 18-6. This would have virtually ensured that Bradford would have had to score 3 times to get back into this match. So not a bad call there by Andrew Farrell.
Wigan now offside.
Well, it's catching on. And this could be the turning point. 4 to 5 he could have selected from Cummings.
He's almost done it again there, has Stuart Spruce, but it just actually caught the ground and bounced in touch, but he was so close again to kicking that ball dead.
Well, could that be the just turning point? A little bit of luck that they needed.
Fielden trying to bounce his way to the line. Only a youngster, blooded from the academy tonight.
Oh, Lowe's was looking for more than one runner there. It was only Dwyer.
There's Dwyer, he delays the pass. Forshaw, all wrapped up by Robinson, still gets it away to Spruce though, who goes back again where all the heavy traffic is. Vital moments here for Bradford, they need to score. Dwyer with the run and the charge to the line. He spins and they lose it. It's a knock on. Lowe's couldn't take the pass in.
Dwyer offloaded.
It's going to be head and feet to Bradford though, because it was knocked down by Wigan.
He tried to offload the ball, it was knocked out, so it wasn't stolen.
I couldn't see if Paul's hand was round the front. We'll see in a minute. Yep, well spotted by official Stuart Cummings. He's spot on.
Right. Stay in, Andy. Bind, it's still in.
Forshaw to Paul. Paul trying to dance his way to the line, but forced back by Robinson and Betts. Terrific defence again. Betts wasn't standing square then.
Should have been penalised.
Someone's on his way to the bin now. James Lowes, I think, is going. It's red. It's red. James Lowes sent off by Stuart Cummings. The referee has had enough of the back chatting. He has told him and has told both sides, and so Lowes takes the walk and he goes off, not to the sin bin as I thought, but off. Betts was certainly not standing square.
He should have been penalised there, but that does not take away the fact that James Lowes, the hooker, has had a right verbal at the official Stuart Cummings, and he's bringing the captain over.
Choice words, they'll be in the reports. Just go back, please. There we go.
And you heard there Stuart Cummings said that he said a few choice words, not to the referee's liking. Well, there's no excuse for it. They were warned. How many times does this official have to get the message across? He said, any more, I will take action. And he's done it. They have no ground for complaint.
James Lowes becomes the third Bradford ball of 1998 to be sent off. And now they're down to 12 men, and they have a 12-point deficit to make up against this Wigan side that's running pretty strong and is standing firm as Wigan peer in defence.
Well, they really were in with a great chance there, but it's an uphill battle now. Down to 12 men. It really will point to the character now of the Bradford Bulls.
It's been all Bradford in this second half, but for how much longer now that they're down to 12 men? But they can take heart. Remember, Jeremy Donegal was sent off here in 1996, and Bradford went on to win by 20 points to 12. Maybe it could just be the spark that ignites the Bulls' flame. We'll see. Crowthers did well then in dealing with that high kick from Farrell.
Under a lot of pressure as well. All these youngsters are certainly in this hotbed of Super League. They're finding out the hard way. Huge crowd, big atmosphere, big hits out there.
Robbie Paul scampering forward from dummy half to the halfway line, met by Mestrov and O'Connor. Here's McNamara, now it's with Vicona.
Well, we've seen teams who have been down to 12 men. The man sent off, they really do dig deep. And I've seen them come back to win.
That was well claimed by Connolly under intense pressure from Bradley. Henry Paul now sees a gap, he's through Donegan, he's got support out wide, he's got support inside, there's the support inside, and young Johnson is felled by Stuart Spruce.
Beautiful position there by the fullback Stuart Spruce. That was outstanding.
Johnson again straightens it up.
He had three men in front of him, Stuart Spruce, there, and came off with a magnificent tackle.
McCormack shouts of a knock-on from the terraces, not spotted if it was by referee or touch judge. Wigan then a metre from the line. And over the line, but did he ground it properly? He's not over the line. Looked as though he was. Mestrov was so close. Farrell out wide to Betts, who spins, and Betts is forced into touch.
Great defence there. They scramble back. Full credit to Stuart Spruce, and then you see Vicona. Ekoku went through. Betts was going nowhere but over the touchline. Well, we spoke about the character and the Bulls having to dig deep. Well, they're doing that now.
Gilmore wrestles McNamara to the ground, and McNamara didn't like it. Here's Dwyer.
Well, I must say it's been an improved display from Bradford in the second half. They're getting over the advantage line very well. Their forwards are really fired up, and it really is a shame that they've had to lose their architect from the dummy half, James Lowes.
Bradley through the gap, just couldn't release the pass to Paul. He would have been away had he got the ball in his arms. Forshaw dummy half now. McNamara hoists the crossfield bomb again. Crowthers is after it, but Bell was there.
Did well to take that. It was a good kick to McNamara. It wasn't the best pass from the dummy half position from Forshaw. He took it off his fingertips. Nice high kick. Well, they really have been under the cosh, Wigan. Bradford have had all the possession in the second half.
Radlinski dummy half to O'Connor. As it was at half-time, and we are now a quarter of the way from the end of this match. Just 20 minutes remain.
I think we're going to be quite happy to just go through the basics.
Man of the match time, of course, your view now invited on 0891 33 13, and you could be on the way to the grand final on the 24th of October if you win our viewers competition tonight.
Well, a big hit there from Danny Moore. He's been everywhere on this field here in defence. Glad to see his tackle count early in the match. Came over the top. Robinson went low. Finished off by the big Australian centre. It's still rough and tough out there. There it is. 15 already, so he's level with his average, yeah. And still 20 minutes to go.
And Bradford are certainly asking a few more questions this half. That ball bounced off the feet of Danny Moore and was then swallowed up by Johnson.
The big question was Johnson just in front of the big centre? Everything was okay according to the referee. As you see the scoreline there, 18-6. Wigan yet again will be just quite happy and content to just play out their six. That man there, Matthew Elliott, realises they are in a catch-up football situation. They've got to take gambles. Wigan are aware of that, and their coach John Money, I'm sure, has got the message out. Nothing silly, just make ground from dummy half like that from Robbie McCormack.
Last tackle for Wigan. Robinson looks for Farrell, and Farrell just drifts a little kick over the top. Moore's after this. The bounce almost beat Vicona, but Vicona did well. Now then, quick play the ball, and Wigan might be stretched in defence. Ikoku with the run.
Been on top form, Andrew Farrell with a kicking game. John
Coaches
Money.
conference in the stand. Great Britain coach Andy Goodway and John Money. Goodway, Money's assistant.
They'll be happy, Eddie, with the way that they're doing things out there. You realise that, as I mentioned earlier, they've been put under the cosh. So it really is down to their solid defence yet again. It's hard to breach in the first 40 minutes, and it's proving that way yet again in the second.
Forshaw to McDermott.
That should be a penalty. Well, that surprised me. It looked as though a Wigan player deep down was still holding on to the leg. There's Mestrov. And that was definitely dragged out.
Quick hands from Paul, he finds Connolly. Connolly then out wide to Bell. Bell on a weaving run, it's Henry Paul in support. And he gets away from three, but can't get away from the next two.
Silky skills there, good combination.
Here's Robinson. Radlinski. Johnson. They're not making the tackles tell in the last few seconds, Bradford. Plenty of opportunities here for Wigan as Mestrov drives it in again. McCormack off the ground to Robinson. He helps it wide to Farrell. Further wide it goes to Connolly. And Connolly is collared. And it was Kevin Crowthers who got to him. Paul, looping pass. It bounces in front of Danny Moore, and the referee has got Danny Moore for a knock-on. And Nicol and Moore at it again.
Come on, we've got a knock-on off the arm. Knock-on,
the knock-on. The referee Stuart Cummings. That's to the dismay by the centre.
Here we go, got a knock-on here.
Little doubt about it.
Hey!
Rolled up the leg.
Not a drinks break, fellas. Come on, not a drinks break. Here we go. In you go.
Yeah, definitely touched it. Off the forearm as well. Well, the clock is a big danger now for Bradford. They're not only fighting up against the scoreline and the Wigan defence, they know that time is running out.
Well, it's uncompromising, this match, isn't it? And a penalty now. And Connor has spoken back to the referee.
Well, obviously he's spoken back very politely. He's only just been given a penalty. So that was acceptable. Well, in a way, acceptable to Stuart Cummings. But desperation time now. If they could just breach it and get a converted try, it really would set this game alight.
Yes, it's been a war of attrition, this, hasn't it, rather than a classic.
Well, they've opted for the kick on the last tackle every time. Maybe the run on the last. Take the power play.
Bradley.
Wigan will go back on the last, expecting it. The kick.
McDermott drives it in towards those Wigan posts. 4 tackles gone for Bradford. Camped underneath the Wigan posts. Vaikona gets the pass away.
Now
Robinson was able to drop then.
Will they go
on
for
the
the
back
kick?
of Fielden. They're going for the kick again, and it's it's a knock on. Bell.
Well, he felt it went behind him. It was a real wobbler, wasn't it? Yeah, knock on. Well spotted yet again by the official. This is a fine game as Stuart Cummings. More pressure for that man, John Money, but I'm sure there's one aspect that he must be pleased with, and that's the defensive qualities that's been shown by his Warriors side.
Matthew Elliott will be well pleased also with his team's showing in this second half. I don't think he'll be too impressed with the fact that Lowe's has been sent off, mind you. This is Robbie Paul, meanwhile. Quick play the ball, Forshaw.
He's been all over the park, hasn't he, Forshaw? He's given 100% plus.
Now McDermott trying to use his strength.
That's a try.
The referee has called time off, and he's going to hand it on to the video ref for him to have a look.
I'll give it a try. He didn't call held.
Definitely grounded the ball okay, I think.
And the referee, as you heard, wants to check whether it was a double movement.
Nope, this will be a try. If it gets on the whitewash, try time. Well done.
That's a terrific effort from Brian McDermott, isn't it?
Sure it is.
I don't know what happened before it.
And he didn't call held. He's still moving forward. And that is a wonderful effort. He's worked hard in this second half. A couple of runs from him early in this second half. He really said, let's get to them. Well, we spoke about digging deep. This guy has. He's come up with 4 points. Probably the most vital 4 points this season for the Bradford Bulls.
Well, McDermott looks to the referee. He now looks to the big screen with the rest of us here. Here's the decision. Big call. Tries given. And Bradford are back in this. Just as you said, Steve-O, they needed a converted try, and suddenly they might have one if McNamara gets this kick. Big kick this for McNamara. Up to the task this time, and Bradford are within 6. We're set up now for a real finish.
Beautiful play that got him in this position, but it's sheer strength, determination there. We often talk about the second effort, and that's what it took here. Many a player would have said, I'll play the ball quickly, but not on that occasion. He wanted that try badly. So did the Bulls.
Oh, and they've come up with it from the kickoff too. This is Bradley. They went for the short kickoff, they chased it, and they've come up with possession. Bradford have the sniff of something here. McDermott on a wonderful run. 5 tries in his last 6 matches. He plays the ball to Rihanna just on, and Rihanna trying to grab another. Bradford within 2 meters of the line. McNamara, they give it some width now with Paul. They've got a man overlap here. Paul taking them on, and had to take the tackle. Matthew Elliott roaring his team on. Ikoku trying to use his strength, but being out-muscled and hauled back. John Money, desperate moments for him now. This is McNamara, who again will hoist the kick right underneath the posts, but too deep.
Well, a sad end to a wonderful passage of play by the Bulls. It was a mistake from Wigan. They came up with the ball, did Bradford, and you can see the anxiety etched on the face of Matthew Elliott, the worry on the face of John Money. The Bulls have absolutely dug deep, come back into this match.
With 12 men, remember. Lowe's off for back-chatting the referee, saying a few choice words. We heard Stuart Cummings tell Graham Bradley, who is there doing the tackling on Gary Connolly.
And you've got to give credit to the coach, Matthew Elliott. He's changed the tactics in that second half. They tried just brute strength in the first 40, but not on this time now. They've kept this ball alive. They're standing a lot deeper, and their defence is equal to Wigan's.
Gilmore plays the ball to McCormack, who finds Farrell, and that ball bounced off the Bradford man, and young Stuart Fielden's got it. And Wigan suddenly are on the back foot. Vicona.
Oh, that was a big hit on Vicona. That was a big hit. Was it legal? That's a big thing.
Ikoku escapes Baines. He nearly gets away from McCormack, got the pass away.
Back to 6. Surely look at the touch judge. He hasn't waved yet. Stuart Cummings.
Now he does. 6 to go here for the Bradford Bulls. Nicol will drive it in again at pace. Double change by Wigan. Vicona is so close. Desperate moments for this Wigan defence now. Nicol trying to plunder one from dummy half. Just hauled back. They're so close, Bradford. Vicona gives it space now to Robbie Paul. The defence has come out though. Doniger stabs it through, and Radlinski just picks it up and sets off.
Chicken feed there for the fullback, Chris Radlinski. It wasn't the best kick through. The option was good, but I'm afraid the execution wasn't the best. One of the finest fullbacks in the world of Super League, Chris Radlinski's position there yet again was superb. Oh, that was close to a forward there to Baines. Well, they're living very dangerously, Wigan.
He offloaded to McCormack, who gets through, and he's got support within Connolly. This could be the match for Wigan. Connolly stretching out. Connolly gets over. Try for Connolly. Second try for Gary Connolly, and that could be it. Wigan come up with a telling try once again, almost immediately after Bradford clawed their way back into this match. That could be the killer blow for Matthew Elliott's men. Connolly with pace to burn, and his 7th try of the year.
Sad for the Bradford Bulls, the heads have gone down here. They kept the ball alive, and McCormack, he threw the dummy, they just held off him, skirted through, offloaded at the right moment. Spruce knew that he had him on the inside, but did he have the speed? The answer was no. Baines offloaded, and on this occasion they just held off. Can you see there? Good work from the hooker, back on the inside. Spruce had to turn around, so Connolly had a good yard start, and it proved that that was enough.
Connolly with the try then, ever present in Super League this year, and 2 tries from him in front of the Wigan supporters who have travelled across here to Odsal to see this match. And it could well be that Connolly now has won the points and taken Wigan back to the top of the table. Just when Bradford thought they were back in the hunt, just as they did in the first half when they got back to 6-all, Wigan snapped from defence to attack and strike what could be a killer blow. Farrell then with an important conversion. And he misses. For once, the Wigan captain not up to the pressure. 22-12. Still a big gap between the two.
You can see once Baines had offloaded, you can see that the defence was still coming back on side. And they just hesitated, stood back at half a metre. Kept his cool though. The Australian hooker offloaded at the right moment. Connolly was always going to beat Spruce.
So just a little under 8 minutes to go. Foreshore dummy half. McDermott withdrawn and Fielden returns. And the injury woe continues for the Bradford Bulls. McDermott, apparently the scorer of that try, has got a knee injury.
That'll be a penalty to an attendance.
Quick tap work taken by Foreshore.
He's run his blood to water as that kid, Foreshore. But what a great effort though from the Bradford Bulls in this second half.
Vicona now, almost through again. And another great crowd inside Odsal, over 14,000 again to see this match. Rihana to Paul and McNamara, and nearly he went without the ball, Sonny Nicol. Bradley stands, eventually has to take the tackle from Cowie.
Must say Bradley's had his best game of the season.
Robbie Paul called for that to be left. This is Vicona. He gives it inside, they're keeping it alive, but now it bounces back, and Connolly inevitably is there for Wigan.
You can't blame the Bulls for trying to keep this ball alive. Forshaw threw it blind. But that's what they've got to do. They know that time is running out. They need to get on the scoreboard very, very quickly. This big lad Baines will just take the ball up. And the amount of minutes that Wigan have been camped in their own quarter in the second half has been quite amazing. Full credit to the Bulls' defence for doing that.
Well, I wonder whether we are watching here a rehearsal for the grand final between Bradford and Wigan on the 24th of October. The kick-off is at 6:30. 0113 234 4455 for any information you might require from Super League Europe during normal office hours during the course of the week.
Ball taken there by the full-back, and again Vicona. He's done that all season. Quick to get into the dummy half. Leading meter gainer in rugby league. Oh, what a big hit there by Moore. Oh, this is crunch time. And poor Crowthers. Well, full credit to Crowthers. He's having treatment, but that was... Oh.
Nicol, yes, just checking that the marbles have stopped spinning. And now Nicol is hurt as well.
This is the incident. Nicol gets squeezed under the top, lost the ball as well. Not so sure that the officials saw that. He's on the blind side, and I think he may have been an accidental knee on the head. Either way, it's painful. Well, I'm not so sure, Eddie, whether the officials have actually seen the knock-on. Is this?
Yes, he's putting the scrum down, I think.
He has seen it, has he?
I think so. He's called time off.
Well, let's hope it's nothing serious.
Well, he will be hoping and praying it isn't, because he's got enough injury problems as it is. And the referee wisely allowing the Bradford physio all the time that she needs, because, of course, bang on the head. It's very dangerous indeed. They've called for the stretcher to take Sonny Nicol off. I think he's concussed.
Well, it's always best to safety first. You can see the physiotherapist just holding Nicol's head straight. Graham comes into the fray, and this is the reason why we have this special stretcher, so that if there is any problems within the spine or the neck, obviously nothing intentional there. Grabs for the head straight away.
So Sonny Nicol will be lifted off the field on the stretcher. Well, they've won impressively at St Helens in the Cup and in Super League. But it did lead a few people to ask whether they can rise still to the big occasion after their setbacks at Wembley and the Leeds defeat. But since they lost at Headingley, they have really picked up a pace, and this, if they hang on now for the victory, will be their fourth straight win since that defeat at Headingley. So I rather fancy that Wigan are back, and they are going to go back to the top of the table tonight. And Leeds have to travel to the Boulevard on Sunday, which is not their happiest of hunting grounds. I think 10 defeats up there in the last 12.
I'm not so sure any team savours the fact of going out to the East Coast, to the world-famous Boulevard, and their quite vocal crowd.
Connolly was almost through again, being spun round by the shirt tails by Stuart Spruce. Henry Paul to Cowie out wide.
You talk about Wigan being back on the rails. I'm sure that the injury hit Bradford side will glean a lot from this. It has been a superb effort from them in the second half, when they were looking well and truly down the barrel of a good shallacking, especially when they lost Lowe's sent off early in this second half.
Johnson was the dummy half, Robinson, and he gives it then inside to Neil Baines again. 4 minutes to go in this match.
Is it a one-pointer? Yes, it is.
With Farrell, who's lined the sights up, but he's missed. Second attempt that Farrell's had at a drop goal and has not found the mark.
Well, that just shows you the respect that the Wigan side, and particularly Andrew Farrell, the Warriors skipper, to the Bradford Bulls' effort in the second half. He knows at that point could just about seal it. They have not given in at all.
Don't forget, we're back on Sunday, Sky Sports 1 at 6:30 with the Saints against the London Broncos at Knowsley Road. Over the past 2 years of Super League, those matches have been magnificent. They really have, and it's another one, I'm sure, in the series Sunday night. The Koku just manages to hang on to the flick pass from Baikona. They're having to try and keep the ball alive now, Bradford, but this Wigan defence is all over them. Rihanna to Paul, out wide it goes to Bradley. Bradley wrapped up by Connolly and Henry Paul. Robbie Paul dummy half, Rihanna. Back it goes to McNamara, who just puts the kick in on the last. Nothing kick really. Johnson's after it. So too is Ikoku. Robinson. Radlinski.
Well, I think we're going to be quite happy to come away with the points here. Good work again from Cowie. Strong run. They've had a few problems, and it looked as though they were coasting to it. But when you look through, as you mentioned, Eddie, there's quite a few of these teams, they all suffering from injury. It's probably one of the quietest games I've seen this guy have.
Yes, Robinson, but trying to end on a flourish. Winded plays the ball to Radlinski. Connolly gets the pass away. Henry Paul, and Henry Paul will seal it. Henry Paul in the corner seals the match for Wigan. And the team that has competed in the last 6 Old Trafford Premiership finals have their sights set on a first ever grand final at Old Trafford on October the 24th. There's no doubt about that.
Well, sometimes you can look at a Morris Minor and it'll get you there, but then when you get the Rolls-Royce engine running, then that's what this kid's got. That was superb. Came onto the ball at the right moment. Look at this from Connolly. Zap. McNamara was just half a metre out of position, and they just cut through there like a hot knife through butter. Offload at the right moment. Beautiful position. Half the chance. We speak so often about taking the chances. Wigan have only had 2 in the second half, and they've posted 2 tries.
Well, he must love playing at Odsal, Henry Paul, because he scored here now 4 tries in his last 5 visits to the Odsal Stadium. And look at the top of your screen there, the Bradford faithful have seen enough on this particular night. They're heading for home. They know that the match is lost, and Wigan will reclaim the top spot in the Super League, at least until Sunday, when, as I said, Leeds go to Hull. But Farrell with 3 from 4, and this the most difficult of his kicks of the night on the far touchline. He'll try and drift this over with the left boot. And that just adds a little bit of spice to the event and brings a smile from John Money, who makes his way round to greet his players as they come off the field. Wigan have won this. The final siren has gone, and it's 28 points to 12. Wigan have beaten Bradford Bulls here at Odsal. 2 defeats in a row then for Bradford after their demise at Wilderspool last week. Henry Paul with the final try of the night, scooted in at the corner, brilliantly converted by Andy Farrell. 28 points to 12. Wigan 4 straight wins. Disappointment for Robbie Paul, but there'll be plenty of brotherly love, I'm sure, afterwards off the field. And Stuart Cummings comes off to a crescendo of boos, which is a bit unfair, but I suppose it's because he showed the red card to the Bradford hero James Lowes. Both sides thank their supporters for the encouragement they gave on this night, but Matthew Elliott is a man alone with his thoughts at the moment. The Bradford coach is finding Super League so difficult to defend. Wigan, a class act. They go back to the top of the table. And coming up tonight here on Sky Sports, still to come at 10 on Sky Sports 1, it's the World Cup phone-in, followed at 11 by motorcycling. On Sky Sports 2 there's US PGA Golf, day 2 of the Buick Classic, and on Sky Sports 3 there's wrestling action in WWF Raw. All to come tonight from 10 o'clock on Sky Sports channels. But it's Wigan's night here at Odsal. Wigan, who have of course not claimed the Super League crown in the 2.5 years that the competition's been going, have it in their sights now.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
Tomorrow, the stage is set for an unmissable day of rugby. England, Scotland and Ireland will be put to the test. New Zealand, Australia and South Africa will be asking the questions. The Home Nations tours continue. 3 live games tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. on Sky Sports 1.
Cheers! That was cold.
Gentlemen, let me explain. I'm a freelance scientist. It's technically known as a judder. When the chill-filtered snaps in nets is served just above freezing, it kind of monkeys around with the body's periodontal atrium.
I think I've just had my first jugger.
Best of all, it's totally humane. Well, almost.
Dear Emma, been here 5 days now. Weather's okay. Shame the beaches are so packed. Seems the whole place is in ruins. There's not a lot to do, really. We spend most of our time just sitting around, doing nothing. Went exploring, but I've got to say there isn't much to see. Oh well, soon be time to come home. See you Sunday. Love, Lizzie.
Tagliatelle with ham and mushrooms, but without the pasta pan. Mughlai butter chicken, without all those saucepans. Authentic Malay prawn laksa, but without the wok. Sainsbury's offer over 300 enticing meals from all over the world, all of which are ready to eat in under 20 minutes. So you can enjoy great world dishes and a great World Cup. Sainsbury's, fresh food, fresh ideas.
My brother's a hero. A champion. Everybody loves him. He's the reason I own a bar. Every year we have a mad race. When he reaches the boy, I start the clock. Marco against the pint. They expect. But I'm getting older, he says. One day I'll lose, he says. Don't worry, I say. You'll never lose. It takes 119.5 seconds to pour the perfect pint. Guinness. Good things come to those who wait.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
Great win for the Wigan Warriors, 28 points to 12 and 5 tries to 2. It really was that sort of a match for Bradford. Well beaten in the end in front of another good crowd. Now, man of the match in your view, Paul. Which one, I wonder? The Wigan one, Henry Paul, surely. He is the man of the match. McDermott, Farrell also in the voting, but Henry Paul, the man of the match, and here he is now talking with Bill.
Henry, congratulations. First duty, you've won £200 worth of sports equipment courtesy of Puma. Who's that going to go to?
I think it's going to go to a primary school in Wigan, Sacred Heart. Hopefully they can use the equipment.
Well, it certainly wasn't child's play out there, was it?
So it's a very tough game. I mean, there's a lot of guys in the change room with the bruises and the battle wounds, but we toughed it out, and some great plays, some good into passing, and everyone really stood tall in that last 20.
But it was a battle for supremacy all the way through, wasn't it?
They're a physical team. The size of them is just phenomenal. But we stuck at our own game plan, and I think our quickness sort of gave us the edge in the end.
It was on a knife edge, especially in terms of discipline, wasn't it?
Well, the last 15 when they scored that other try, we had the backs against the wall, but we dug in, and I'd like to say hello to Luke Bryan. I met a young fella, very courageous. I'd like to say hello to you.
This is a big win for Wigan, isn't it? Certainly have made your mark now.
Oh, well, I mean, the title's not won now. You know, we've still got a long way to go, but these 2 points are very special here.
Thanks very much. Well done, Henry.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Sky viewers.
Yes, they are very special, these 2 points, and David Marsden of Preston is the man who wins the viewers' competition tonight. He picked Henry Paul out. We have Sean McRae with us, the St Helens coach, and obviously it's a big game for the two of you. You're in 5th, London just behind you in 6th. I posed the question to Steve-O on Wednesday about one Bobby Goulding. What's going to happen to him this weekend?
Bobby's been included in the 17. He'll come off the bench at some stage in the game. You know, he's fully aware of what's required from him. You know, we've had a couple of discussions since he hasn't taken part over the last few games, and you know, Bobby's quite happy to fight his way back into the side. I know that he's got the talent potential. His teammates know that as well. We've seen Bobby Goulding at his best in the past, and I'm sure we'll see him at his best very, very soon. So, you know, he will no doubt figure somewhere in the side during the 80 minutes on Sunday.
Well, he has been a key figure for you against London, hasn't he, over the past 2 years in Super League. He's been the game breaker at some stage. And Tony Curry's promised you a pretty physical battle.
Well, Tony always does. I mean, again, it's one of those games that always seems to go to the wire. London St Helens games are always physical. There's always fairly high point scoring, you know, 22-20, 26-24, that sort of thing. I'm hoping that we could perhaps win the game a little easier than that on Sunday.
Well, we're looking forward to it, aren't we, Steve? It's going to be a corker.
Oh, it'll be a tremendous match, and I think when you look at the 5th playing 6th, it's virtually down to the wire, as Sean was saying, and Tony Curry will have the guys all fired up, and I think that perhaps he'll play it very tight in the forwards. We know how Tony plays the London Broncos when they go away from home, and they like to keep it tight. They play to a very, very strong game plan. They make sure that the kick and chase is exceptionally good. And I think that they will just wait for scraps. I think that's what they do when they play away from home. And if St Helens come up with any mistakes, they will pounce on them.
Well, we'll see. It's all, of course, to come on Sky Sports 1 Sunday at 6:30. Knowsley Road is the place. The kick-off 6:35. So don't be late. St Helens against London Broncos. We shall be there, and I trust we'll have your company as well. As always, it's thanks to Sean McRae for being with us. Who gets the try?
That's Danny Moore. This is Mark Bell. He cuts inside Stuart Fruit, and Wigan come back. McCormack. Henry Paul delayed the pass. Flicks it back to Cowie. Cowie gets over for another.
Big hit there for Joe yet again.
McCormack. Lovely, skipping little run. Henry Paul now. Sees a gap, he's through Donegan, he's got support out wide. He's got support inside. There's the support inside, and young Johnson is felled by Stuart Fruit. Now McDermott, trying to use his strength.
That's a try. Oh, what a big hit there by Moore. Crunch time.
This could be the match for Wigan. Connolly stretching out. Connolly gets over. Try for Connolly. Levinsky. Connolly gets the pass away. Henry Paul. And Henry Paul will seal it. Henry Paul in the corner. seals the match for Wigan.
Super League on Sky is sponsored by JJB Sports.
What's happening is that one of the world's greatest football tournaments has reached its climax. 55,000 people will gather to see Frankfurt Galaxy take on Rhein Fire, who hope to go one better than last year. It's the World Bowl 98, Sunday 5:30, live on Sky Sports 2.
Some wrong turn that turned out to be.
Something tells me this isn't the Hotel Waikiki. I think we should leave before dinner.
Stay calm. They'll probably just torture us or something.
Rosie? That was scary.
Yeah, and the follow-up single was even worse.
Peugeot 106, the drive of your life.
From hay fever or other allergies, new Benadryl Allergy Relief starts working in 15 minutes. No non-drowsy allergy tablet works faster.
If you feel uncomfortably full after a meal, try new Rennie-Deflatine. It's specially designed to relieve bloatedness and trapped wind. Just 1 or 2 tablets of Rennie-Deflatine can quickly and gently disperse air in the stomach and also relieve any associated heartburn or indigestion. Try new Rennie-Deflatine.
When you call Premier Chat and Date, you can instantly send messages to other people who are also online. Plus, you can leave replies in the mailboxes of people who've advertised for friends and partners. You can even open a voice mailbox of your own. One call does it all, so make contact with people all over the UK with Premier Chat and Date. Dial 0891 66 9900. Premier Chat and Date. Call now 0891 66 9900.
Kuye kwamemeza abantu bonke mandulo kumemeza abantu abadala kangaka we bantwana kanisala le.
Fresh ideas.
The headlines on Sky News. Jeff Hurst, the man who scored a hat-trick in the 1966 World Cup finals, has been knighted in the Queen's birthday honours. Other accolades go to Bruce Forsyth, June Whitfield and Sir Colin Marshall. Patrick Nichols, cleared of murder after 23 years in jail, is expected to seek record compensation. The appeal court heard how his alleged victim had actually died from natural causes. And Britain has stepped up the threat of airstrikes against Serbian forces. 6 RAF jets are this morning joining NATO exercises in the Balkans near Kosovo. Lawyers for the British au pair Louise Woodward are mounting a new attempt to have the case thrown out. The defence team say there's doubt about the autopsy on the baby she's alleged to have killed. It's emerged the Massachusetts state pathologist had been involved in an earlier but similar case where his findings were overruled.
Everyone out of the way. With the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court well into its deliberations on Louise Woodward's fate, her defence lawyers have suddenly given the justices a little more food for thought. They're demanding more information on Dr. Gerald Feigin. He performed the autopsy on Matthew Eapen and concluded that the baby died from a skull fracture inflicted on the day he was admitted to hospital. At the original trial, long-standing heart problems which contributed to his death. What is unclear is whether this will affect the Supreme Judicial Court's decision-making timetable. The justices are due to rule by July the 16th. The clerk of the court tells me that in theory, this motion could delay that decision. But equally, the justices might ignore it, simply deciding that it is an attempt by the Woodward lawyers to lay the grounds for an appeal if the decision goes against them. It all amounts to even more uncertainty for Louise Woodward. Jonathan Hunt, Sky News, Washington.
Britain's first two-tone coin goes into circulation on Monday. The £2 coin is being phased in gradually, so it could be some months before it's in widespread use.
Reaction was mixed to the UK's first two-toned coin, due to be filtered into circulation next week.
Yeah, it is. It's not as thick, it's not as bulky, it's not as heavy.
I'd rather notes actually, because too many coins destroy your pockets.
Bit flimsy, feels like plastic.
Definitely it's an improvement. It looks very great.
For weeks, these presses have been striking the coin. Designed by a Norfolk art teacher, the tails side, with concentric circles, represents the development of technology from the Iron Age to the internet. The flip side has a more realistic image of the Queen.
Got wrinkles on her neck. Not very flattering, really.
She looks a bit sorely, doesn't she? Not like herself.
Well, we all got older, haven't we?
Around the rim there's an inscription, Isaac Newton's humble explanation that his achievements were built upon the work of others left some mystified.
Standing on the shoulder of giants. I don't get it.
Where's that come from?
Isaac Newton.
Oh yes, right. All scientists stand on the shoulder of previous scientists, don't they? Yes.
For most Britons, there's only one point that counts.
As long as I get lots of them, I don't care how they look.
It was to have been launched in November, but the Mint had to change the design to make the new coin compatible with vending machines. But with 50 million going into circulation on Monday, it won't be long before we've all got them jangling in our pockets. Joanne Shoebridge, Sky News, West London.
England's opening World Cup match against Tunisia kicks off at 1:30 on Monday. Many employers are bracing themselves for a flood of calls from staff claiming to be sick. Some firms are installing televisions, while others are giving employees half a day off.
The pubs, like this one in Liverpool, are all geared up to make a killing out of England's entrance to the World Cup. But will people be allowed to watch?
Glenn Hoddle's team will take to the field for the first time in this competition on Monday at 1:30 in the afternoon, when most of us should be working. Or will we?
If the Sun newspaper has its way, nobody will be working. It's declared, in its own inimitable style, a day of two halves. Work in the morning, football in the afternoon. They want to see England going home. But at the Shell UK factory in Ellesmere Port, one of the North West's big employers, there are no special plans to allow workers to watch the game. Management say they haven't been asked. Nearby, at Vauxhall, it's much the same story. But some smaller employers have made plans, like this furniture upholstery business at Kings Winford in the Midlands. It employs only a handful of staff, and all will be smiling come Monday afternoon.
Basically, because we're so enthusiastic about football, we're going to take all the lads up the pub, supply drink and food. But at the end of the day, if we weren't up the pub, they wouldn't get any work out of them anyway. They'd be watching the telly, which we've got in the factory, to watch all the other games.
To be honest, I wanted the half myself, so my partner decided to take the lads up the boozer, have a few beers, watch the match together. Like. Good day for it.
I might have had the thingy day off to go and watch it.
I loved it, yeah. So I can watch England play.
In London, a tube strike starting on Sunday evening will provide an extra disincentive to going to work on a day when many will not need the excuse. Ian Doverston, Sky News.
And now here with all the sport is Mark Saggers.
Well, day 3 of the World Cup belonged to the hosts. France became the first side to score 3 times in the tournament and lift the tension throughout the country at the same time. The other game produced a positive result in the same group for a European team too, and there we are.